Next, we will see history of the world. It will include event from 18th century. Okay, so in history of world, if we will see what exactly we have to study we have to study 18th century events, that was industrial revolutions and world war. Hello, my name is Sindhu, and today we will see mains GS paper 1 syllabus. First, we will see word by word exactly what mentioned in the syllabus. Next, we will see in simplified form, and again we will see that how we can link with the other GS paper like GS paper 2 and paper 3 syllabus, so that it helps you in making notes and everything, so that your effort will be saved and duplication of effort will not there. Because if you will learn the linkages between the syllabus, because you know that your main syllabus of GS 1 2 3 are very vast, but if you will carefully watch the syllabus and analyze them, then you will see there is a lot of interlinkages between the syllabus. That's why it's necessary to interlink the syllabus and know more about the syllabus. So let's see the syllabus and see what exactly mentioned, and see how we can simplify it and how we can interlink with the other paper like paper GS paper 2 syllabus and mains GS paper 3 syllabus. So let's so see if we will see the what exactly mentioned. So here Indian culture, salient aspects of art form, literatures, and architectures, ancient to modern times. So it's a necessary to that all the art forms, literatures, and architectures, that ancient to modern times. So from ancient to till date, you have to study about that. In modern history, you will see the middle of 18th century to the present, significant events, personality issues, everything you have to discuss. So middle of 18th century, that basically after the battle of Plassey, uh, that consists that part form, and from there exactly your modern history get started. And again freedom struggle. So here various stages of freedom struggle. So you know that freedom struggle, our freedom struggle has a long duration, and there were various stages in the freedom struggle. Like if you will see that started from moderate phase, then extremist, then mass movement phase, and the Gandhian era, and after that finally we got the independence. That's why here the various stages and important contributors and contribution. So you know that there are various hero in our history that contributed a lot to the freedom struggle. That's why we are got our that's how we got our independence. So contributors, the persons who genuinely contributed in our struggle, and the contributions that made by them and from the different parts of the country. So you know that there were various places in India that were very active, like Bengal regions, Maharashtra, and the Madras regions. So that's why it's mentioned there, and you have to study. And also you will see the post independence consolidations, reorganizations within the country. So you know that the what happened after the post independence consolidations means we have to made a effort to make all the states and all the boundary to consolidate. And you know that after partitions we have struggled a lot to make them in a country, so that every state can become the part of India as a union. So that's why consolidations and reorganizations within the country. So you know that various boundaries were altered after the independence, so that we can reorganize as we want. Next, we will see history of the world. It will include event from 18th century. Okay, so in history of world, if we will see what exactly we have to study we have to study 18th century events, that was industrial revolutions and world war. You know that in industrial revolutions started in Britain from 1813 onwards, and after that you know that World War 1 in 1914, and after that uh, two world wars happened. So World War First 1914, and then 1939 World War Second, and the withdrawal of national boundaries. So you know that after the World War, there were a lot of changes in Europe. That's why you have to study the boundary as well. Colonizations, you know that the famous policy of Western world and Britishers to colonize the other countries and exploit their resources. So that's why we have to study colonization in detail, because we were also became the victims of colonizations. That's why it's important to know how the world functions and what were the mindset at that time. So that's why it's important. And decolonizations, you know that after many country got independence, when decolonizations were started happening. That's why decolonizations is also important, that what were the struggle of the all the colonies of the Britishers from the Asia as well as Africa. Okay, political philosophies. So see, decolonizations not happen because of the only the one thing that Britain were getting weaker after the World War, but also the political philosophies were that time Renaissance happened in the Europe and as well as in other country. So people. First, I started to focusing on communism, capitalism, and socialism. That's why this happens, and their forms and effects on the society. So these philosophy, communism, capitalism, and socialism had a great impact on the society. So when you will study your syllabus, then you will get to know detail in detail about. Now again, next we will have the Indian society. It's the society part of the syllabus. So salient features of the society: diversity of India, role of women and women organizations, populations, associated issue, poverty, developmental issue, urbanizations, their problems and their remedies, effects of globalizations on Indian society. So these are the society part, but see carefully and you will see that these part are also the part that forms the GS paper 2 syllabus. So there mentions the poverty and hunger, where you have to study these thing in social justice and the. So that's why here also, and the all the associated schemes that government brings for eliminations of poverty as well as the developmental issue. So you have to study here. Okay. And next, the social empowerment, communalism, regionalism, and secularism. So you know that the social empowerment happened, and these all thoughts getting stronger. And salient features of, it's now a geography part. So salient feature of physical geography and distribution of natural resources across the world, including South Asia and Indian subcontinent, factor responsible for locations of primary, secondary, and tertiary sector industry in various parts of the world, including India. So, see, if you will see these part particularly, then you will get to know that the same similar topic is in GS paper 3 also, where you have to study the infrastructures and everything related to the industry. So, here also you have to study the primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. So these all things related to that also. So when you are studying GS paper 1, so see your GS paper 2 syllabus as well as your GS paper 3 syllabus, and then make your notes. That will make your note multi-dimensional, and you will also get to know that how the interlinkages are between all the papers, paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, so that it will help you in um, making your notes very multi-dimensional. Okay, and important geophysical phenomena such as earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activity, cyclone, geographic. So see, if we will see these part, the important geographical, geophysical phenomena. So see, you know that you have a disaster management in GS paper 3 syllabus. So in that, if you will see that there also, so earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activity, these and cyclone, these are disaster also. So that in that paper also you are studying about these things. So that's why you need to interlink all the things so that it will help you in making the notes in better manner. Location changes, critical geographical features including water bodies, ice cap, and in the flora fauna effects on on these changes. So these part are so geography is not a geography, it's environmental geography. So these part are in your environment also. So that's why you need to see your syllabus very in comprehensive way and analyze it, all the syllabus GS paper 1, 2, 3 at one time, so that you will see how many interlinkages and how many topic overlap. In art and cultures, if we see in the simplified form of your syllabus GS paper 1, see, in art and culture, here you have to study the Indian art form. Okay, so here everything visual art and dance and every forms here you can study. And literature, so you know that we have a great resources of literature, Vedic literature, and after that we have many scholars that have written uh, great epic books. So you have to study here. And architectures, you know that we have a rich architectural heritage as well. So here you have to study all the caves and everything. And these are the part of syllabus that also consist in your prelim syllabus. So when you are studying this, you are also preparing for your prelims. So that's why main syllabus and prelim syllabus can't be seen in a segregated manner. When you are reading, uh, complete it in a comprehensive manner, so that you don't have to uh, duplicate your effort in prelim syllabus as well as in main syllabus. Next, if you will see the history, here you can see that ancient history, medieval, modern, post independence India, and world history. So in post independence era, these all are the history part. In post independence, see in your GS paper 3 as well, GS paper 3, you have a directly mention of land reform. Okay, so land reform, here in post independence, you have to study all the prime minister we have after the independence, and what were the policy of them for the industry and the infrastructures for the development and the foreign policy, and everything about the land policy and industry, what they were thinking about the industry, and all the planning part. So planning part, these will come in post independence as well, and in your economic syllabus also. When you will read in GS paper 3, that will cover there also. So that's why read in the comprehensive manner, so that you have to study once. So land reform you can read in directly mentioned in your GS paper third, and here also in post independence you have to study the land reform, because that were the major problem after the independence, because land and tenancy were very exploited sectors that time. And in world history you have seen the syllabus what mentions, so you have to complete your world history as well. And the effects of globalizations, now if you will see the society effects of globalizations in society, social empowerment, communalism, regionalism, and secularism. See, after the globalizations and everything, these thoughts are getting very stronger. Okay, so regionalism, you know that regionalism, one region developed and other regions don't developed as much as that should be. That's why regionalism is, um, you can see that it's good or bad, because both effect it has in the world and Indian geography. Now you will again see the world physical geography distributions. So we see that that exactly mentioned in your syllabus, but what I want to say here is that these all parts, the location of primary, secondary and tertiary sectors industry, these all are form the part of your economic syllabus GS paper third also, because there also you have to see the distributions. That's why when you are reading these things, you can refer your GS paper uh, third syllabus also and your notes also. That's why you need to know the exact interlinkages between the syllabus. Geophysical phenomena, now you can see that it's coincides with the your disaster management syllabus in the GS paper third, as well as your environment portions, because it's environmental geography. So yeah, so basically you have seen that how the interlinkages between all the papers, and when you will analyze carefully and see the syllabus in a comprehensive manner, and analyze all the papers like paper 1, paper 2 and paper 3 syllabus at a time, and then see how many interlinkages between them, and how many all the words and topics are interrelated. So if you will prepare your notes in that manner, then you will have the multi-dimensional answer. See, everyone saying that write in a multi-dimensional way, so that your answer will look very diverse and very comprehensive, and it will include all the thing that should be. So when you will prepare your GS paper 1, paper 2 and paper 3 syllabus, mm, in a comprehensive way, and interlinking linkages established in your notes, then only your answer will become multidimensional. So keep working hard and do what needed to be done. Okay, thank you.